harder for one. So they're not the typical words that we've been doing where it's bam, there's the answer. So you really have to dig deep and think about those clues, okay? And then we're gonna focus on some dictionary definitions. Okay, so before you start clicking, I want your hands underneath right now. So otherwise we're gonna start clicking. So, after Lily left home for college, her dad tried to sell the computer games she had played when she was little. However, he soon found they were obsolete. So is it going to be A, too easy, B, out of date, or C, boring? Before we do this one, I want to preface this and think about the clues before I give it to you. Okay? So I'm going to start the clues. Now, she's in college now. And these were toys she played when she was little. Okay? So thinking about that, which one do you think it is? Choose your answer now. When you've chosen your answer, stop. And then I will show what our answers are. So we're going to probably get a variety of answers with this because this is something new to us. Okay? Raise your hand if you've even heard this word before. Okay? So it's a newer word. That's why we have to use context, right? If I just said, think about your vocab stories. If I just said, oh, that was obsolete. Do you have a clue what I'm saying?
No.
No. So that's why we need to add context. All right, so let's see our responses. Okay, we have 5 people that said A, too easy, 14 that said out of date, and 2 that said boring. Okay, so what are my clues? Ava?
You said that she's in college now, and since she's in college, the games are probably going to be more of the older kind of.
Yep. Bryce?
And since she was young when she played this, it might be amazing because she might know all the answers.
Okay, so they could be too easy, too boring.
Like I said, she was little and it would be too easy.
Let's see where you guys are going with this. Okay.
You said like a vocabulary words, and our vocabulary word can't be out of date. They have to be too easy.
Alright, so you're thinking about what I said.
From the text, like when she was little and now she's in college, I think it may be out of date because she was when she was little.
Okay. Think of computer games. Okay? So think of it as computer games. And you fast forward.
Now.
Do you think technology changes?
Oh,
Yes.
So what do you think? They're now
Out of date.
out of date. Now do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that was a tricky one. This is why we're doing the tricky now. We can't keep with the little easy ones, okay? Next one. Mrs. Jones was nervous about flying on an airplane. She had never flown before. Her daughter reassured her by telling her that planes are very safe. So, what does the word reassure mean? Did she comfort her, reminded her, or forced her? There's 2 in this one that are kind of pretty close. So I want you to think, what do you think is the best? Think about if someone reassures you. Okay, talk with your table and think about if you want to change your answer now.
Comfort. Her daughter comforted by telling her
comforting.
So
Yeah, but like
her
if
daughter
you're
comforted her by telling her that things are very safe. Her daughter reminded her that it's safe, but she's also like comforting her. Like, don't worry, it's safe. Just remember that.
Alright, clap once if you can hear me. Clap twice. Alright, so did we change any of our answers?
No.
Or do we all keep it the same?
Yes.
Alright, so let's show. I bet you we're all in that A, B category. Okay, I heard Lucy's table having some good conversation. Can you guys share with me what you guys said?
It could be a mix of A and B because they're both the same thing.
Okay, Lucy?
They're like, she's also comforting her, like, oh, don't worry, but it's also like reminding her that it's safe.
Okay. Ava, what are you thinking?
I put comforted because when I'm nervous, I need to be comforted, and Miss Jones was nervous about flying on a plane, so it would kind of make sense that she would be comforted.
Okay, Gavin?
Re is your definition of reminded.
What?
Reminded has the same two letters in the beginning of reassured.
Okay, so you're kind of using your prefixes of the re. Okay, see where you're going with that. Bryce?
I think when I say reassured, I feel like you might know something, but then like if you get like scared or something like that, you lose like all your focus. So that's why I feel reminded.
Okay. Dave?
If you put it in the sentence, her daughter comfort her by telling that planes are safe, but if you put reminded, her daughter reminded her by telling, that does not make sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I love what you did there, Gabe. Everybody listen to that. Replace the word. Her daughter comforted her by telling her that planes are very safe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
She's comforting her, right? Her daughter reminded her by telling her that planes are very safe. Does that make as much sense?
No.
Okay, so there's a little hidden difference right there. So, Gabe, that's a very good technique to do. We've talked about that. Replace that word. Does it make sense? Okay? So, if you are sitting on a plane, picture this. You're sitting on a plane, or you're sitting on in your car, and something's happening, and your mom's trying to reassure you that it's safe. What is she trying to do?
Comfort you.
Comfort you. Okay? So we're going to bounce ahead to the next strategy, okay? So now we're going to look at, we're actually given a dictionary definition. So this word has how many meanings? Looking at it. Julia, it says 2. So we have 2 meanings for the word agitate. So agitate can mean to feel or look upset or disturbed, or it can mean to stir or beat something quickly. Now looking at this sentence, Mom began feeling agitated after she asked her son to clean up his mess for the 10th time. Talk with your table, which definition do you think it is and why?
Upset. It's the first one.
Mom began being upset or disturbed after his my father.
Technically,
How is this being?
How?
all right, let's show our answers. See if we all are there. Okay, we almost all. Okay? Remember, we're not changing answers at this point. Hands are off your Chromebooks. Okay? So, I heard Elliot talk about how, well, if you replace a word in there, Mom began feeling upset after she asked her son. I think that makes sense because if you put, Mom began feeling stirring. She's just over there stirring. Is she cooking in here? Maybe. No. So right there you see that doesn't make sense. Okay? So we know our answer would have been the first one, A. All right, we're going to do one more like this. Okay? Reservation. Okay, so this one has how many meanings? Okay? Three. Perfect. So, since he had never been away from home before, Chase had reservations about his overnight summer camp. So did he A, something on hold, B, feeling uncertain about something, or C, a piece of land held for Native Americans? So I want you to talk with your table about which one do you think the answer is. Clap once. Clap twice. Hands off your Chromebook. Let's show our responses. Okay, so we had a couple different responses. So now I kind of want us to hear your thinking. Okay? Hands are off your Chromebook means we don't touch it and change your answers. Okay? So, let's look at it. Why did you chose A or C? Why? Gavin?
She's had an uncertain feeling about something.
Okay, so you replaced it and you noticed that. Okay? Nolan? Okay, so at first you thought the third one made more sense. Why did you think that?
Because it's like a piece of land that
Okay, so you thought that, well, they're going to camp, so they're going to a piece of land. Okay? But then, Nolan, what did we talk about when I was back there? Did it make sense? And we want to know how Chase is feeling. Okay, so which one shows how Chase is feeling? A, B, or C? Say it. 3, 2, 1.
B.
Perfect. All right, so what's the one technique we learned today that we should start doing?
replacing
Voted?
the word. Replacing like the meaning, like the word into the sentence.
Yep, replace that word into that sentence and see. Does it make sense? If it does, probably on the right track. If it's a little off, we need to check our answers and redo it. All right? All right, so you guys can log off Pear Deck. And then I need you guys to get out your math